Mike, are you awake? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, another day. A cold one, but it wasn't that cold. I don't know why you said that, Jay. It was like -2 today. It's not that cold. Tomorrow's going to be
It was a bit colder than -2.
But how did the day start for you guys? Because for me, it started off on the bang. I got here late.
What time did you get here?
I got here, late for me.
9:15.
For me, it's late. No, was
Yep, 9:15.
You know what I did this morning?
You went to the gym.
Yes, no, but what I mean is that usually on the Thursday, Friday, I gotta get to Westmount, so it's a bit farther than when we're in the West Island. I live in the West Island. Come see me if you want. So today, I said to my wife, the kids got up late, and I said, you know what? I said to myself, you know what? Why? Why do I have to rush and be there?
Why what?
I know Gabriel's gonna be there.
Oh, why go to work or why be on time?
Why get to work at the usual time? I know Mike's gonna be there. So why am I rushing to get there?
That's a good feeling.
My first appointment was at 10 o'clock. I always have stuff to do, so I could have worked on something. But today, I picked the kids and my wife over work.
That's
Did
a
you
nice
know
feeling.
that, Mike?
No, I didn't.
Now you know. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, you pick them over work for someone who has a hard time letting go of work, who is really focused on micromanaging sometimes.
yes.
How did you?
All the time.
Well, I'm being respectful.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but how?
That's a subject, though. That's going to be a subject.
Well, how
There's
did you?
nothing wrong with constantly micromanaging. That's a strong quote that's going to have to be discussed because you're going to have a lot of experts bashing you.
But how did you deal? Were you present? Were you able to be present this morning
Well,
at
that's
home?
the thing.
Were you able to be present?
That's a good question. I was with my 2-year-old son who got up a bit later than usual, and as I was taking him out of the crib, what do you call it, a crib?
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is better than this. No,
Hope so.
no. You know, the work can wait.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about work or not. For me, it was like, I know I've got you two most probably 50-50 chance. Well, Mike for sure. Gabriel, it's a 50-50.
No, it's not.
So I thought, let's spend a few more minutes.
Good for you.
So
Good for you on letting yourself do that.
I deserve it. Right, Mike?
Agreed.
But what happens
But-
if I start telling myself I deserve it every day?
And
You see?
you lose the momentum.
No, then I'm gonna have an issue with my business. So it's if we wait it out, I do this once every. How often am I here after you guys? 1 out
Oh,
of
you
10.
mean in the morning?
Yeah.
Half the time.
Can you
It's true.
please? I'm here half the time.
After us, yeah.
See, this is the problem. You live
It's
in
true.
some fantasy world.
It's so true, though.
You're delusional.
All right, as of today, we're gonna document.
not-
We're gonna document it.
Him and his future.
You're gonna
Yeah,
document?
we're gonna document
Your
it.
dog is pay?
No,
No,
wait a
document
second.
it.
How many times am I? How frequently am I? It's not 50.
It used to be 8 out of 10. It used to, but then you started liking your family more, and you stayed later.
All right, don't listen to what I say. The point is that 9 times out of 10, I'm here.
I'm pulling his leg. It's true.
How do you pull yourself away from a good thing? Look, when you start getting into being out with clients, and maybe you're younger, you don't have a family, or you don't have a family, and you're always doing the scene, and you're going out, and you're constantly out. If something feels good, it feels good. Just like having a cocktail can feel good, just like having any kind of thing that triggers a dopamine hit.
Yep.
But sometimes being lazy feels good.
Yes.
But laziness is contagious.
But the thing for me is that the question is, I will tend to favor the uncomfortable always. But once in the blue moon, I'll go with the comfortable. Today was comfortable because it was the easy way to go. Because the hard thing would have been to just leave my son after 5 seconds of saying hi and he wants to play with me and get out, which is what I usually do every day.
You touched on being comfortable with a group today, on their comfortable level. You do your 1 to 3, the plan d'action
Yeah.
for spring. Are they open to
No.
being uncomfortable?
No, they're not open. No one's open to being uncomfortable. Humans are not open to being uncomfortable. But that's what I find is the path to attaining or pushing or feeling that you've outdone yourself, you've grown, you deserve whatever it is that you want. It's that pushing yourself more than the comfort.
Yeah, but you know why people don't want to be uncomfortable. It's not just the classic, because the word says it, it's uncomfortable. It's because we're built for survival. And if something feels uncomfortable, our brain will make sure to push us out of it.
And if there's anybody we should listen about comfortable
That's right.
options between comfort, this is the
While
time.
getting the work done. Say it.
Whenever
Say
it's
it.
But let's go back to the micro managing and or overseeing.
Because I don't think it's healthy in most companies if you don't know how to use it.
And I would agree if I was you, because you certainly don't want me to find all the problems,
That's
the
true.
obstacles, the stuff that's not getting. So as an employee, I would tend to agree with that.
No, not that you don't like being micromanaged, but as a micromanager, do you believe that you get more done out of your employees and out of the culture and so on than macro?
If I have a heart attack right now, and hopefully I don't, but if I did, I want the medical team to micromanage the hell out of that situation because I don't want to die. I want the heart surgeon to be micromanaging everybody on that team to make sure they're giving me the right dosage of this and opening the right place and cutting in the right area. And so if your business is important to you, if the results are important to you, you have to micromanage. In a perfect, beautiful world, maybe that fantasy world of Gabriel, you can have a bunch of people that are so responsible and so dedicated and committed that you don't have to. But in reality...
But I have a question. How do you scale if you micromanage?
That's true.
Because if you look at any big corporation, any big company, they cannot micromanage. Let's say they have offices in every state. They can't be in every state at the same time.
Well, what's the definition of micromanaging? Maybe that's the question.
Always being on top of everything, on everyone at all times.
So there's layers, Mike.
I'm Gabriel, but it's okay.
No, I'm talking to Mike. No, Mike asked the question. I'm answering the question. There's layers. You don't have Howard Schultz, who's the head of the chairman of the board of Starbucks, deciding or managing or micromanaging the cashier on St. Charles Boulevard in Kirkland.
Unfortunately.
No, your question makes it sound like that's what I'm doing. We're not at the same level, not at the same scale. You need to hire people that will micromanage the next level or the whoever they're overseeing. You should be micromanaging. Actually, this is something we talk about all the time. Mm-hmm. So have you brought that up, Etienne? I said to you this week, we talked about this, I said, you should be on top and micromanaging me about the business development people that I'm meeting because that's your responsibility. You shouldn't be relying on me to make sure I write my notes and I do the things and the follow-ups and all that stuff. You should. You should be on top of every little detail.
But won't people become more dependent on you if you micromanage them? Because they'll say, oh, well, even if I forget something, I'll have to be too focused because it's going to come and ask me about it, then I'll remember and I'll do it.
Well, I would chop the head of the person that I constantly have to repeat and I can't...
no, even if it's new things daily, they get it done once you say it. But then they know that you're coming to see them 7 times a day because you're micromanaging. So by the time you say it, oh, yeah, I remember I'm doing it right now. And by the end of the day, the work is done, but you had to go see that person 7 times.
No, I would just replace that person. Eventually you get fed up and you try to get someone better that's going to not have to micromanage as much, but you still have to micromanage. You still have
micromanage as much. So, there's levels, basically.
Yeah, I'm just saying that when we talk about not micromanaging, that means you fell upon a superstar, you fell on someone that's a unique gem in your organization. And I think that...
Why are you looking at me?
It's extremely rare.
Yeah.
So if we go with probabilities, I say go for the micromanagement until you feel that you don't have to do that anymore. But it's your job. Why wouldn't you want to micromanage? Why wouldn't you want to achieve?
So you have more time with your family.
I know. I'm talking about the multi-level stuff. I'm not talking about Howard Schultz going to Kirkland every day and calling up and is the toilet flushing correctly? And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the regional director. I'm sure he is. My no, I'm not going to talk about that. I was going to say someone and give an example, but I don't have their permission, so I won't. But I know someone that worked in the big corporation, multinational. They're micromanaging everything. You don't make 2 mistakes or you're out. Like any big or corporation, public funded corporation, not all. There's no repeating twice something. It's I told you to be there on time. You're there. You're not on time 3 times. You're out. Like there's no. I was gonna swear. There's no screwing around.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Jack, about micromanagement?
I'm all for it.
When you did these big productions and big shows and big things, how much
tell you.
micromanagement is there?
Well,
They don't just let you. We have full faith in.
No, you have to submit everything to the network. The network has to approve it. They send back their notes. You do an edit. You send it back to them. They send you back notes. It's a constant thing, and it gets bigger with the bigger you go. If you're dealing with A&E, it's a lot different than dealing with maybe a local or a provincial level broadcaster. That being said, you'd be surprised at sometimes when you actually go on set and start working on a production that there's really not much producing going on. They're there, and you're there to do your job because that's what you were hired to do, and that's when it gets like really real.
And today, as an example to the group, I was discussing what I've said many times to you all. Once you start paying yourself when you're self-employed, I gave an example. I said someone wanted to pay themselves $150,000 a year. I said, okay, let's take that number. That means your business has to generate revenues of 300, 450-ish.
450. Yeah.
So that you pay yourself after taxes, after expenses, after everything to operate your business, you can pay yourself as an employee 150-ish. That's about $216 an hour that you would have to pay yourself. So I gave the group, I said, look, do this with your spouse, or if you're by yourself, just transfer that money every hour, or at the end of the day, it's about, if you work 8 hours, it's about $1,800 bucks. Every day, transfer that money. And one person says, well, yeah, but I don't have that kind of money in my account. I said, well, that's okay. Get a line of credit. Take the money from that line of credit or your credit card and pay it, because that's what it is now. You don't think you're going to micromanage, Gabriel, when you start having to write that check every hour for $200 or every day for $1,700? Or you're going to micromanage the hell out of every activity, every minute, every second, because now you're writing that check.
Let's say, for instance, somebody that owns a chain of hotels, right, in every country.
And that pertains to all real estate brokers.
No, but I'm just saying.
But
see, so he still owns you still only real estate. It's still real estate. Now the thing is that he has to pay a manager or has to pay somebody to run each one of those hotels. So he's gonna have to where do you turn around and say I'm micro or I'm macro managing? Like where does the difference come in?
No, there's many differences, Mike. What I'm saying is that you got to be on top of stuff. If you're going to make sure that you're getting full return on your investment. Today, in this world, with in the world we live in, there's no, I hire and I blindly let you do whatever you think you're. You gotta track everything, you gotta measure everything, you gotta look at everything. You can't just hope and look at most brokers, that's what they do. They don't track nothing. They don't actually. I ask, I say, how many this, how many that, how many people in your debt? I don't know.
They hire an accountant.
I know. I'm not talking about just
For
money. I'm talking about what are you doing every day. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
No.
How many communications? How many clients? How many future clients? How many potential? What's nothing? No, nothing. How many posts? Whenever I feel like it. How many outbound? Mm-hmm. Whenever I feel like it. You can't operate a business based on how you feel every day. Because they can afford to do that. They can't really, but they can because they're not paying themselves. There's not that value. It's not tangible.
Yeah. I always tell the brokers, whenever you're not sure if it's structured enough or when somebody would ask you something, what would you answer? It's kind of what you said for the paying, but I said just on the accountability. I said, if CEO, you went to see employee, you at the end of the day, said, all right, I hired you to grow my company, right? I'm paying you $500 in a day. Sure. if I come to you at the end of the day and you tell me, and I ask you as the CEO, so what'd you do today? I say, well, I sent 2-3 emails, called a couple people, posted a few times. Do you think you're getting a promotion from that? No, you're going to get fired very quickly. When you go to a regular 9 to 5, it's completely structured. No boss is going to come in and say, all right, well, let me know how it goes in 8 hours. Because you're going to do this from that time to that time. You're going to meet those people from that time. You're going to take a break at that time. They even tell you when to take your breaks. And which you have to do also as self-employed.
And you make me think of something with what you just said.
As you weren't listening?
No, I was listening, but I'm going to add value to what you just said, and especially to Mike's comment about the hotel and all that. In his example, in Gabriel's example, the manager hired by whatever company you were talking about, if he's an employee, he might not actually understand the concept of efficiency and the actual how much it's costing the owner. That's why whenever you own something, whenever you're the one writing the check and it's coming out of your pocket, that's when you're going to micromanage. The people that say you don't have to micromanage are the ones that are getting a salary, the managers that are getting paid a salary, because they themselves don't understand the value of everything.
No, you have to do it. It's the same thing with the car rental place that I had. If you have 3 employees working and there's nobody coming in, then you got to say, okay, well, you guys leave for the rest of the day because I don't need you to be there. You don't need 3 people there and there's nobody coming in. So these are kind of things that you have to do.
So let's start doing that. Let's start you guys paying me back every day per hour.
So that means per day we each have to pay you about $37.
Wow. No, but what about that? Why don't we create this world where I agree to pay you?
Yeah, it's called a dictatorship.
The
There's already a word for it.
And in this world, if you don't attain the minimum targets, you pay back the difference pro rata.
It's a growing theme on these lives. This is a great.
No, but it's a great idea. And
it sounds in the wrong country.
And I think as a self-employed person, I think that's going to really give you that fuel that you need, that motivation, that willpower. You're going to get up at 4.
Yeah, but how about if you do hit the target, then you get double?
Sure. Hell yeah. Because you're going to hit the target once in 100 days, but the other 100 days you're going to be paying, so it's going to end up being win-win. I think it's a great idea. I'm sure we should let's try it out. Why don't we do a pilot test? Every day we talk about it, we record.
Let's get the bank on the line, get a line of credit, let's do it.
That's another thing I discussed with brokers. Ask for credit lines when you have the money. Don't do it when you're running into trouble. If you're in a good position right now, go get a line of credit. A business needs to operate. Cash flow is always going to be the problem. Go get that credit because it's not going to be always perfect cash flow wise, and the business has to keep on going. So
the worst part is that when they give you that free credit, when they say you've been pre-approved, when you take it, the time that you'll actually need it and you ask them for it, they won't accept you.
That's right.
So
it's always like that. So a little tip here, right, Gabriel?
Absolutely.
All right. So exciting stuff. You know what I said to myself yesterday? I said speaking of today, I'm going to start with our promotion and not do it at the end, and I didn't do it. So I feel bad, but let's talk about them anyways. What do we have, Mike? Start with the best one of all. What do we have for 2023 that's completely new and unique?
Well, it's completely new and unique. We're offering 12 free leads to any broker of the outside that wants to join us until March 21st. So we encourage you strongly to get in contact with us so that we can help you convert, especially that there's going to be a lot of challenges this season. So we're ready to tackle it. Right, Gabriel?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. We talked about energy yesterday, we talked about an elevator pitch. I guess we're not learning from these lives. So what else do we have, Gabriel? Let's
I've actually practiced my
there you go.
pitch.
Let's hear it.
No
dead air.
Are you looking?
Oh my
That's
God.
God.
So basically, part-time mentorship, full-time mentorship, we now offer it all. We have from 1 to 3 with Etienne, Tuesday to Friday. We got full-time mentorship, team structure, temporary solution, permanent clients. How's that sound, right?
It's very confusing, but it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
We have also
all the infomercials are confusing.
we have team leaders that are looking for team members. So if this is something that you are considering for this year, because it's going to get a bit tighter, send your application. We'll review it and we'll discuss it with the team leads. Maybe you'll get the position. Why not? We have big teams. Very exciting stuff. And lastly, we have a prep session for those that are about to become real estate broker, about to do the OACIQ exam. English and French, we have our own teachers. The next session, Mike, is...
Possibly next week or the week after, so it has to be confirmed. There was supposed to be a prep session today. Unfortunately, the teacher could not make it, but it's something that we're going to have for you confirmed probably within the next 24 to 40 hours. So if you're interested, contact me directly, and I'll be more than happy to assist you in that.
All right, guys, so we'll see you all tomorrow, and have a great evening.